Okay, good day and welcome to the very first episode of the Engine Shed. Today I thought I'd do something, a lot of people seem to have a lot of interest in this product, so I thought I'd do a quick, slightly comprehensive review of the DCC Concepts ADS 8FX accessory decoder. So these are made by DCC Concepts. You can pick these up from Hatton's, eBay, DCC Concepts website. I'll provide the link in the description below, but these are a very cost-effective solution if you're using a large layout with lots of points. It simplifies the process a lot. So the packaging's pretty basic. It comes in a pretty standard plastic sleeve. What's pretty cool though is the instruction manual for this particular decoder is actually the sleeve on the back. So everything you need to know about the product is enclosed in that little sleeve, which is really nice. And what it looks like out of the box is this. So we can see here that there are 8 decoders and 8 CDUs. Now a CDU is a capacitor discharge unit. Okay, so this is a 2200 microfarad capacitor discharge unit, which is pretty much powerful enough to throw the point of 3-point motors. If you're using a seat point motor, this will quite easily throw 3-4 of these seat motors at a time per decoder. So each decoder is this little block here. That's where the little chipset happens. And what's also great about these decoders is it comes with a bank of screw terminals. Okay, so there's not much in the way of soldering required for fitting these things apart from your actual point motor. So as you can see from left to right, you've got your DC, DCC input. You've got the solenoid input, which is the 3 screws here. So your left, your center, your right. A momentary. Now the momentary is for a switch, so if you're using the old school switch panel with your toggle switches, you can still hook these up to the ADS-F 8X and I suppose manually override the decoder, which is a really cool feature. A lot of old school model railroading guys really appreciate that feature. And finally we got the last 3 screws, which is the frog polarity. Now this works, it really works well. I've used this, I've got 4 of them currently installed underneath the layout. Now the frog polarity is a bit of a it's a bit of a unicorn because it works so long as you remember to throw the point to the default position, which is the closed position. Now for those of you who don't know what the default closed position is, basically this is the anatomy of a point, right? You've got the blades. Now straight ahead on a point is closed. So the branch off part of the point is closed and that is open. So a lot of people online have speculated this problem and they've said that they've had massive issues with this and to avoid using it. I have to concur with that. Unfortunately, I've had the same issue. Now the advice that DCC Concepts gives us on the product itself is that it's advised that the point is returned to the default position after use. If you're like me, I've got 68 points on my layout. Now, if you're using some computer control software, that's fine, but if you're just using a controller, it's a bit of an issue. Now, DCC Concepts has since revised the issue. They've got a new model of this decoder. It's called an ADS 8SX. Now, I'll provide the link in the description below for you guys to check that one out. But basically, the difference between that product and this product is it's got an onboard memory circuit. So it will remember the points position from the last use, which is cool. That's really good. I think that's about $120 Australian. I'm not sure how much that is in British pounds. Everything's detailed on the DCC Concepts website. But anyway, the point itself is it's really good. I've used point motors, point decoders I should say, from Hornby, Bachmann, a few other people, and none of them come close to the ease of use that this has. And the reason for that is these decoders come with a run set switch programming system. So basically what happens is when you get a normal Hornby decoder, you've got to go through and program it like you would a normal DCC decoder. You put it on the track or you install it in the bus, yada 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 yada, which takes a lot of time. This on the other hand is really simple and it's really fast. So you can see that these little switches are tucked in between the 2 capacitors and they're currently set in the run state. But if you switch it to the right, you actually put it in set mode, which is when the decoder actively listens out for a DCC address instruction over the DCC bus. So you can hook this up to the DCC bus and type an address into your decoder, an accessory address into your controller, fire it across the DCC bus, and this will listen for it. And once you've done that, you simply flick it back into the run mode, and it's all good to go. You've set up your decoder. That's how easy it is. And on top of that, because you're using the screw terminals, it's really easy to install to your baseboard as well. I pre-wire all my decoders just as a habit anyway, because when you're trying to install something underneath the baseboard, these all screws are an absolute pain in the ass to try and fit. So I always recommend pre-wiring your decoders. I use some crimp spade connectors. That makes life pretty easy. And the other thing I would strongly suggest is use a color coordinated wiring system. Okay, so for me, I'm using green, white and blue, which basically distinguishes the left, center and right part of the solenoid or the point motor. Okay, so I'm using a seat point motor as well, if I can find one. No, I can't find one. How annoying is that? Okay, this is a dodgy point motor. No, I won't use that. Let me see if I can find one. So I'm using these little CPM1 point motors. Now, these are pretty well documented on YouTube. You can see how to wire them up. The instructions are available online. You've got 6 terminals on the thing you solder the wires to, and it's that easy. These are pretty reliable little point motors. It's a shame that the DCC Concepts decoder didn't consider the frog polarity problem. The new model, the ADS8SX, is probably going to fix all of that, and I hope to review that for you guys soon. But in the meantime, to conclude, it's a really good product. I highly recommend it for those people who have a massive layout, or a large layout I should say. But even people who have a small layout, you'd probably only need about 1 or 2 of these if you've got a small layout. And it will do the job for you. It will quite happily do the job for you. It's compatible with pretty much all decoders, all controllers. I programmed this with Hornby Elite, Hornby Select. I've programmed them with an ECOS, and no worries at all. All the same thing. It's all easy to use. It's all easy to do. So there you go. The DCC Concepts ADS8FX decoder. Highly recommend. You can pick one up, do it. You won't regret it. So that concludes my remarks on the DCC Concepts decoder. Thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, some comments, some feedback. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down if you really want. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and happy model railroading. See you later.